Today I want to talk to you guys about the Bitcoin protocol and what it means. Its design was oriented towards always bringing more freedom into the world. And that's really what's written. That's the economic design of Bitcoin itself. So as you all know, Bitcoin is the greatest free market experiment in human history. And it is a pleasure to be amongst all of you who are at the center of it yourselves. The biggest thing that Bitcoin did is that it hacked the planet. So it wasn't a technological hack, and it wasn't really even an economic hack. But I see it more as a psychological hack, because now for the rest of human existence, we know that human cooperation can exist peacefully amongst individuals in a way where there's no need for violence or coercion. What is Bitcoin? Bitcoin is the creation of triple entry accounting. Since the time of the Medicis and the Renaissance, we've had, the dual entry accounting, where you go into a store and you get a receipt and they keep in their own personal books what was sold. With triple entry accounting, as you guys know now, the triple entry is the cryptographic receipt stored in the blockchain at the same time all over the world. It's not just about money, it's about everything. And that's the point I want to drive home today. It's about everything, guys. So right now, as Bitcoin is growing, we're starting to see a lot of countries being hacked in their own incentive structure towards profit seeking. And we want that, because it is Bitcoin, the machine itself, that is oriented towards destroying tyranny and making sure that freedom prospers. And Liberland is at the forefront of this, guys. And the fact that you guys are here puts you guys in a very unique place. And look around you, because these are the connections you guys want to make for the rest of your life. I'm being serious. This is a huge deal, probably one of the biggest events in human history. And right now, since we're in the middle of it, we probably don't really understand the vastness of what we're involved. But let me break it down a little bit more and talk about crypto and how Liberland is at the forefront of crypto development. So Liberland has a clean slate. It has the ability to engage with the Mexican government and to facilitate the world of remittances. As Mr. Rodriguez said, this is the biggest remittance market on the planet. So imagine what can be done when we start dialogue and start doing business between different jurisdictions that are freedom oriented. So it's, again, not just about money. Remittances are important, but it's about everything. I want you guys to close your eyes and imagine a world where the internet is redundant, where there is never the possibility of a kill switch for the internet. I want you guys to imagine a crypto world, because I know everybody here is familiar with crypto, where crypto itself is no longer dependent on the internet that we know of today. And guess what? That is possible. And it's possible thanks to Liberland, actually, because Liberland is going to offer us the opportunity to transact in modern finance on the blockchain via ham radio. Could you imagine a world in Europe and in the Mediterranean where Bitcoiners and people in the crypto industry are transacting with one another using low-frequency ham radio? That is possible. The technology exists right now. And just imagine if we at Liberland had ham radio towers all over to encompass everything within Europe and the Mediterranean. That is not just possible in Liberland, but all over the world. But I know that Liberland is the place at the forefront where we can start experimenting with these realities. So I also want you guys to imagine, as it was spoken here before, about land records on chain. It so turns out that in Texas, there's this huge phenomenon where oil companies send out what they know as landmen. And landmen go into the courthouses of different little towns. And throughout many years, they literally rip the pages because they're lazy. And they walk away with the title ownership of who owns what plot of land. With crypto, with blockchain technology, we will now be able to make sure that that never happens again. Because again, we will never have to rely on a dual entry accounting system, but we now have a cryptographic entry, which is the third receipt of triple entry accounting itself. So Liberland has a clean slate to implement these types of technologies that we know are going to be implemented throughout the rest of the world. The truth, guys, is that everybody here, we're all boomers. We're all old. And we don't understand what we really have as technology in our hands with crypto and the gift of Bitcoin. And the reason why is because everyone here comes from a world that identifies physical reality as the most important source of wealth creation and prosperity. Everyone here, as a libertarian, we understand the world of commodities, capital goods, consumer goods. But what if I told you that the greatest threshold of creativity and wealth creation is about to happen and is happening right now? Right now, there is an NFT artist walking around here right now. He's one of the hosts of this event, and he's actually leading this throughout the planet. People think NFTs are just these funny pictures on the blockchain, but they represent something more. It represents the ability to tap into human creativity and a person-to-person basis, into human creativity to unleash wealth in a way we've never seen before. And that in itself, that wealth that is unleashed in a way that's never seen before, will be manifested in our physical reality that we're accustomed to. An example of this would be Lord of the Rings, right? And that now there is a tourist economy around where the Lord of the Rings movies were filmed. We also know, like we see this with like Game of Thrones, Harry Potter, anything that comes out of the human imagination can be monetized and will have a physical counterpart to create markets. So everyone here needs to look at the people in their family, all the young kids, and learn from them. Because we're about to tap into what big tech already knows to be the biggest fountain of wealth in human history, which is information itself. And it's tapping into that infinite resource of creativity that we're going to have things that we can't even imagine right now. So Liberland is at the forefront of that. And why is that? Liberland is in itself a manifestation of a desire and idea that is empowered by Bitcoin itself. So can I go over a little? Okay, cool. So the truth, guys, is that a lot of Bitcoiners, all Bitcoin OGs, have from the inception of Liberland called Liberland home. That is the honest truth. We are inspired by Liberland. We're so inspired that a lot of us have even tried to copy paste and mirror this with things like cease setting, because we know the value of what's happening here. So, and why is it that we call Liberland home? Because although it's a little country, it's got big ideas. And again, this is the reality that I want to bring back to the forefront, is that big tech understands this. And big tech wants to monopolize ideas. Everything that you're hearing about AI, GPT, chat GPT, and machine learning is nothing more than the creation of more noise. We don't want a world with more noise. We want a world with honest signals, where intelligent people gravitate towards one another in understanding what is best and better for everyone. This world of noise creation will end, and it's going to end because of the gift of Satoshi itself. Because we can do something that big tech will never be able to do. And that is that we can wrap and protect Bitcoin energy with proof of work. Guess what? Liberland is a physical manifestation of that. It is the proof of work of libertarians creating a physical space for us to interact in a peaceful, voluntary way. Something that we really have never seen a country do from the jump, from the start. So I want to let you guys know that I see Liberland setting itself up to be the home of prosperity for the future. I really do. And I think I want to make a prediction. I think we're going to see, once Liberland just takes off, because we're at a tipping point, and it's going to take off. We're going to see an expansion of wealth there faster than anything we saw in Dubai, okay, Singapore, and Hong Kong, okay? It's going to happen. And so one thing that we need to talk about is, what is it that will lead us there? And it is in the understanding of what Hyperbitcoinization is. And I'll explain it to you in a couple sentences. It is the idea that we can scale on-chain, interoperably, and open source. Hyperbitcoinization, believe it or not, is already here. the constitutive factors to give us that already exist. People just have to realize that it's already there. Again, it's not about just money, it's about everything. It's about creating a new internet. It's about creating a new, it's about tapping into human creativity that is not monopolized, but that is a meritocracy in itself. So the manifestation of this reality is happening right now before your eyes. And Mexico being the doorway and the heart of Latin America opens Liberland up to be really leading the pack. Because we see that a lot of countries throughout Latin America are falling into socialism, unfortunately. And it's really sad to see, it really is. And this is an opportunity to emphasize what we already know and the tools we already have to keep propagating that important, costly signal, that message amongst all the noise on the internet. We have so much noise on the internet, but there's an important signal that free markets work, that proof of work exists, which is the capitalist meritocracy that Satoshi gave us, and that can never be taken away from us. And so what we need to do is keep coming together, go to places like Acapulco, and share these ideas, because once a human person understands that there's a way to leave the matrix, you can't take that away from them. And they will be free forever for the rest of their lives, no matter where they live. So again, Liberland physically might be a little place, but it's a place with the biggest ideas on the planet. And that's why it's gonna prosper in the information age as the leading country in the world to take us to where we all really wanna go, which is to live in a world of peace, prosperity, and freedom. So yeah, that's pretty much the end of my talk. And Liberland is already manifesting all these ambitions. And I want to thank you guys for making this beautiful country possible. And I want to become a citizen. So let's talk.